Hello and welcome everyone to the This is Happiness, Strategies and Inner Work live webinar. My name is Eva and I'm going to be your host today. Before we move on, I would love to check one thing, which is very crucial. Can everyone see my screen and hear me? Please type it in a question box. It will be great if you can take a minute to locate your chat box right now, because this webinar is going to be an interactive webinar. So I will be asking you some questions, and this is because I want you to start thinking about how you can apply what I'm teaching you today in your own life. Beautiful. Thank you everyone for letting me know that you can hear and see me. And also, just to ensure the best quality of the presentation, I'm going to turn the camera off. And right, so welcome everyone again. And for everyone who is joining for the first time and don't know me, I would like to quickly introduce myself so you know who's behind the content and who you're listening to. So I'm the founder and owner of the TIH Coaching since 2016. For around 13 years, I lived in Dublin, Ireland, but originally I'm from Poland. So that's where my name and actually a bit of the accent is coming from. An interesting fact is that at the beginning of this year, me, my partner, and my business relocated to the Netherlands. So this is where I'm speaking to you from at the moment. And I'm always fascinated about the technology and how nowadays we can connect with people from all over the world. So I would love to hear where you're joining from. If you can type it in the chat box, I would be really happy to hear. I see Ireland. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. So look guys, I don't want you to leave overwhelmed with information. So this webinar will go on for approximately 30 minutes. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat box. Don't unmute yourself and start asking them during the presentation. I will answer them at the end if we have time. If not, I'll come back to you individually. Is that okay? Perfect. So please turn off all distractions so you can make the most out of this webinar. Grab pen and paper, something to drink, and enjoy. So before we begin, I would like to check one thing and ask you, what do you think is the #1 thing that everyone in the world wants? Again, please share your answers in the chat box. What is the #1 thing that everyone in the world wants? I see some answers coming in. Yes, happiness. You all guessed. Brilliant. So yes, this is what everyone in the world wants. And you know, a lot of people ask me why I used the word happiness in my business name, or what is it that I exactly do as a coach. So see, wherever I go, I hear people say, I'm not happy in my work, or I'm not happy in my relationship, or I'm not happy with my weight or my finances. So this is the reason why I use happiness. One, because that's what everybody wants in the world, and second, because people are not happy. And so what I do, I help people overcome the blocks that prevent them from being happy, and then design a path and a plan to creating the happiness and the life they desire. So we're going to look at some of the blocks that might be blocking you, and the path that can help you create more happiness in your life during today's webinar. So why are we here? You know, I don't think there ever was a time that there has been so much information about personal development, setting goals, having goals. But the thing that I also observe is that despite all this information, instead people feeling more happy, there are so many people that keep struggling. Second reason is that, you know, probably because of all that information about that we should have goals and we should want all these things, is, you know, that people keep chasing and hoping that the next thing that they want, like money or relationship or whatever they want, will make them happier. So not only they struggle in achieving these big goals, but also they're not happy in the process of achieving them. And when they do achieve that thing, the happiness doesn't last for too long. And we're going to look more in depth into it and why it happens as well. And third thing is that, you know, until 3 years ago, my life was totally different than it is now. So I know both sides of the spectrum, and I know how both sides feel. See, until 3 years ago, I was badly miserable and unhappy. Until 3 years ago, I think it was like for around 10 years, I would read a lot of self-help books and, you know, on how to become more financially free or rich, or how to be more confident, or how to create this beautiful relationship I really wanted. But nothing really changed for many, many, many years until I actually stopped looking outside of me. So one day I started looking inside. I started looking at my beliefs and what was actually causing me to feel stuck, what was causing me to be unhappy. Because, you know, that's the key. The thing is that if you want to change the outside, you need to get to the root cause of the unhappiness, of what or why you are stuck. And the change starts from inside. Only then you can start creating different results in your life. So when I went into that process myself, I started actually attracting those things I always wanted, but I couldn't before. And for the change, you don't really need more information, guys. What you need is actually more self-awareness, more clarity, and new beliefs. So tell me, guys, why are you here? What is it? What area of your life? Where would you like to create more happiness? Is it your career, work, relationships, health, finances? Where are you struggling the most, or what would you like to create? Where would you like to create more happiness? What area of your life would you like to create more happiness in? Love. Beautiful. So look, whatever it is, my promise to you is that today I'll show you the top mistakes that keep you stuck, the top mistakes that make you stuck and prevent you from creating happiness in that area or others. I'll also explain you what happiness is, because there's a lot of misconceptions about it. And also, I'll show you the path to achieving more happiness, long-lasting happiness and success in your life. So the information I'm going to share with you is based on years of studying and research and experience. So one thing I forgot to mention, or I haven't mentioned at the beginning, is that I actually have 4 years degree in humanities and social studies. My final year research was about benefits of mindfulness, actually. And I did many courses with top personal development gurus like Bob Proctor. I studied 6 months his best program, and he studied human potential for over 55 years. Obviously, I also learned a lot about this subject doing my coaching qualifications. And I have 25 plus years experience of, as I've mentioned, being miserably unhappy and, you know, going through the process of changing that for myself and for the last year and a half for a lot of my clients too. So let's begin. What keeps you stuck? What's the thing number one that keeps you stuck? And it's actually very funny, and not many people will tell you that, since there's a lot of information about, you know, setting goals. But this is one aspect of setting goals that might keep you stuck. So how we set goals and how we see goals. So you see, I see a lot of people setting goals based on actually not what they want, but what others expect them to be or do. Example could be, you know, they set a goal to be a lawyer or a doctor or I don't know what, because their parents wanted them to be a lawyer. They set a goal to hit a target because their boss wants them to. Or society. You know, we live in a world where by a certain age you need to be married, you have to have children or be in a relationship and have a house. So maybe you're in a, you know, specific certain age that you feel the pressure from society and that those things are expected from you. So they became your goals. Or also, other people also set their goals based on observing what other people are doing. So, you know, we can see that our friend is earning a lot of money in a specific job or business. Or our friends, all of them are starting relationships. So we think we should do that too. And based on that pressure from outside, this becomes our goal. So this is setting goals and looking at them from the outside in, not looking at the goals from what is it that we really want. All right, so this is causing a lot of unhappiness in many people's lives. And how we see goals. So most of the time, you know, I also hear, and I used to do that, you know, I used to think myself that when I have this relationship, I'll be happy. When I have more money, I'll be happy. If I can have holidays once or twice or more a year, I'll be happy. You know, so the thing is that we never want to achieve something to have it, but why we have goals is, and what we're looking for when we do things is, we're actually looking for the feeling, because we think we'll feel better having it. So we're not looking necessarily for a relationship, we're looking for love, we're looking for acceptance. So by looking at your goals that when I have a relationship, I'll be happy, you're actually unhappy, because if, let's say, you can't have a relationship, or you haven't managed a relationship for 1 year, you'll be miserable. So the trick is, and we're going to talk about it later, is you know, you can actually achieve the feelings that you want, like love, recognition, acceptance, before finding that perfect relationship or getting that super high paying job or going on that amazing holidays. And lastly, I see a lot of people saying that I want a house because I'm not happy in my current house, or I want a relationship because I'm not happy on my own, or I want more money because I don't have them, I don't have enough yet. And this is a way of setting goals from a place of lack. And as we know, like attracts like, so like will attract like, and we know that what we focus on, we attract. So that's the mistake number one. That's the thing we do that keeps us stuck. So question, guys. How many things actually, if you can scan your life and ask yourself, how many things in your day you do that you feel that you have to? So this could be going to work, so things you have to and don't feel fulfilled doing it. And how many things you do in your day that you feel like you want to. So something that you enjoy. And yes, I know that there are some things like perhaps feeding your child that you have to do, but we know that you also feel like you want to. That's your type. So we're not talking about those things, but when you think about your relationship or work, like, are you fulfilled and happy in that area? And what are the things that you are doing because you have to? And don't worry if there's more things on your daily to-do list that you feel like you have to, but there's not as many as you would like to do. And we're going to look at the solutions for that. So don't worry about that. We're going to find a way. It's just a question to make you think, to start reflecting on actually where you're going in life, on your goals, and what you are doing. Mistake number 2, let's take a look at it, and because it's a big one. See, the thing that keeps us stuck a lot is the beliefs we keep believing and stories we keep thinking and repeating. So, and this also will explain why we perhaps don't even do things that we want to do. So even if we want to have a better job, we settle down for the job that we are not fulfilled in, or we want more money and we know we could have them, but we're not doing what we would need to do in order to earn those money because of certain beliefs and because they hold us back. Or if we achieve our goal, like let's say if we meet a person and it's going well and we have a relationship or career or anything or business, we also can sabotage them because of the beliefs and stories we keep thinking. So look, guys, we don't have the time to go more in depth into how beliefs are created and things like that, because that's a topic probably I could talk about it for whole night and day. But in short, you know, they are created through early childhood conditioning or through an emotional experience. So for example, if you grew up in a family that you know, your parents were not happy together, so you observed an unhappy relationship, or you know, you think that people who have money are the bad people, or you experience heartbreak or someone cheated on you, you will create a subconscious belief that relationships are not good and you might get hurt again. Like, for example, it's not going to last. So, or even if you if you would love to be, let's say, a painter, but you believe that you are not good enough, you're not going to start pursue your purpose and passion. Or if you do, you're probably not going to have enough courage to show your paintings and start selling them because you will believe you're not good enough. So I hope you start seeing how beliefs and the stories you keep telling yourself, like, you know, oh, he's a nice man or a woman, but probably she's gonna cheat on me, and creating a lot of not necessary stories and situations that can sabotage the results and create unhappiness, right? And mistake number 3, it's a very interesting one. It's actually suppressing or letting negative emotions control our behavior. So you see, we live in a world where of social media, actually. We live in a world of social media where everyone shows their best self. The personal development world also, you know, tells us that we can be so successful and we can have all those things. So we are actually meant to believe that, you know, only by having the great things or success, or just we can be happy, or we need to be positive all the time, because you know, it's all about positive affirmations and positive feelings and stuff like that. So this is also not true, and unfortunately this creates the feeling that when we experience negative emotions, we don't want to admit we feel them. We feel bad for experiencing those feelings, and it creates a vicious cycle of feeling bad for a long time. So the thing is, guys, you can feel anger, you can feel fear, sadness, you can even fail. These are normal experiences, and everyone experience them. Only two kinds of people don't experience negative emotions. You know which ones? Psychopaths and dead people. So whenever you feel sad or fear or anger, next time, be happy, because you're normal. The thing about negative emotions is, and what not many people are teaching and telling you about is, you know, it's all about making choices how to behave. And so we can feel anger, but then we have a choice. We can feel, acknowledge and process the feeling, and then we can choose to have a normal conversation with your partner, or we can choose to actually have a big fight, or we can choose to not to talk to your best friend for whole life. We can feel fear, and it's normal. We can feel fear before showing your painting or speaking in front of people or starting something new. But then we also can make a choice, whether you will let it stop you, or whether you will allow to feel it, accept it, and choose to do something else. So this brings me to the point, you know, of what is happiness. And actually, someone, I think, unmuted themselves. Just 1 second, let me see. No? Okay. There were some noises, but that's okay. So again, that brings me to the point of what is happiness actually? So happiness is how you choose to feel and act actually too, regardless of your circumstance. So regardless of if you are in a relationship, or if you have money, or even when you experience the negative feelings. Hello, Patricia. We can see you. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. So happiness is also actually the experience of both meaning and pleasure, ideally in the same activity. So look, there are experiences that are meaningful and pleasurable, and the ones that provide, the ones that have both is where the happiness lies in. And it's not just about experiences, it also applies to work and relationships. So, so you can't sustain happiness only with pleasure or meaning. Just by doing a thing or work that gives you meaning, like money, but earning money in a workplace where there's an unpleasant atmosphere, so there's no pleasure, there's no joy, you're not going to feel happy, and in the long term you're going to get burned out. And the other way around also, as an example, you know, you can't be happy long term in a relationship that there is only fun, but there's no meaning, there's no commitment, and there's no growing in the same direction. So happiness actually is about knowing and doing things that you want to. So the things that you want to, instead of the things that are expected from you. Remember when we talked about, at the beginning, we talked about the goals. So it's shifting your life. Happiness is all about shifting your life more towards doing what brings you, doing things, experiences, creating relationships and work and life that brings you more, both meaning and pleasure. So now I promise that I'll tell you the path to creating a happier life. And guys, identifying what is it that you truly want, changing the stories that you keep repeating, or beliefs that you created for so many years, and those beliefs and stories that keep you away from perhaps finding that job or relationship that are both meaningful and pleasurable, takes time. So it's not going to happen overnight, but don't worry about that. There are ways you can bring happiness into your life, and it's called, like, there are quick fixes, and they are called micro level boosters. So as I said, you're not going to transform your life completely overnight, but you can choose. You can start with one thing that brings you happiness, that brings you the meaning and brings you pleasure, and start doing it, that one thing, depending on how much time you have. Start doing it for 10 minutes every day, or it could be even once a week for 30 to 60 minutes. We all know that the following quick fixes, but they are crucial. Like, so getting enough sleep and rest. Exercising can boost the happiness chemicals in your body. Meditation is perfect for boosting your happiness level. And practicing gratitude. So focusing on, rather than what I don't have yet in my life, start paying attention and appreciating what you do have. What have you achieved up to now? And as I said, like, happiness is an inside job. So the true path to creating a happier life and a long-lasting happiness actually requires evaluating your goals. So ask yourself, asking yourself, is what you're doing something that you want to be doing, or is it something that you're doing it out of a habit or someone's expectation? So reflection, evaluation first. Look at your life honestly, identify what is it that you want to do. And secondly, set goals that are aligned with your values and your purpose. And this way you will fill your day with things that you want to be doing rather than what other people expect you to. Step number 3, make a plan and take action, guys. Nothing happens without action. But again, that action needs to be aligned with the goals that bring you meaning and fulfillment and pleasure. And when you have an action plan, you also need to evaluate and align and 100% upgrade your beliefs. You need to align your beliefs with your new vision and plan. So beliefs like, am I not good enough? They have to go. Beliefs that you can earn money, let's say through art, or all the good women or men are gone. So that's very, very important step, and that's the inner work that needs to be done. Also, whenever you're doing something new, you will feel fear. You will feel frustration and sadness, because sometimes you will think about things that happened and you can feel sad. But to create happiness in your life, you need to learn how to accept, how to work with your feelings, how to let go of them, and then, as we already said earlier on, act accordingly to your vision, not the feeling, not the belief that you have for so many years. And the last but not least, be consistent, because as I said, change on a deep level is a process and takes time. And I know that because I've done that myself. I know that because I work with people and help them create that change. So I will tell you, it's very hard at first. It can be messy in the middle, but it's so, so gorgeous at the end. And you actually don't have to do it alone, guys. So there are so many people that reached out to me and started seeing results from the first coaching sessions. I personalize each session to your needs. So, and I work with everybody individually. So we can work on any belief that you need to work on. We can get clear and we can work on the purpose. You can discover your values. And as another client of mine said, we get straight to the issue, we get clarity, and we organize the mess in your head. So if anyone needs help, you can find me at Facebook. You can find me on Facebook at my business page, which is called This is Happiness Coaching. And you can contact me, guys. So for everyone who attended the webinar today, I'm offering a complimentary 30-minute consultation. So if you want help in creating a lasting change and happiness in your life, you can contact me after we finish the webinar, and we can schedule a time that suits you most. So thank you everyone for today. I see that we ran out of time, but you can write your questions in the chat box, and I'm more than happy to reply to you privately. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.